Deebo freaking Samuel. You and I have been talking since last year about, is he the best wide receiver on the team? I was saying no. You were saying yes. So you won that argument. Not only is he the best wide receiver on the 49ers, he's the best weapon on the 49ers. No disrespect to George Kittle, but it's freaking obvious at this point. But you can go further than that. I think you could argue that Deebo Samuel is just the best offensive weapon in the entire NFL this season. Is that an overstatement?
No. Because we make those statements about Christian McCaffrey. We've made those statements about Alvin Kamara in the past. Tyreek, well, yeah.
Even George Kittle used to be that guy, right?
We made those kinds of statements. And, he should be talked about the exact same way Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara are talked about.
Right.
Because Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey are not compared with Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook and Nick Chubb. Because they're looked at as running backs who could also be starting receivers.
Hybrid players.
Deebo Samuel is a star wide receiver who could also be a star running back. He's one of those hybrid special players.
I've never seen that. You've seen the running back who can double as the slot receiver all the time. The number one wide receiver who can just line up in the backfield and run toss plays and in between the tackles effectively. No, I've never seen that.
He can run outside zone, read the blocking correctly, and get 8 yards. Are you kidding?
Never seen that.
It's just not fair. He's unbelievable. And I think his athleticism, and I keep talking about this with him because it doesn't get talked about enough. This guy is a freak. He's a freak athlete. People his size don't move like him. His agility and speed for a guy his size is freaky. It's a freaky combination. We were talking Percy Harvin before the season, 2012 Percy Harvin, who had an MVP-type start to that season. If the 49ers make a run, I think Deebo Samuel should be in the offensive. I think he should win Offensive Player of the Year, honestly. I think he's been that good. And I think he should be the one guy that should be the standout. He should get the all-pro accolades. He should get the pro accolades. Because other than Trent Williams, he's been the best player on this team this entire season. He's had an unbelievable season as a receiver. I mean, some of those catches that he made, Jimmy threw some balls into tight spots because they were sitting on a lot of routes over the middle of the field. So Jimmy's precision and accuracy was unbelievable yesterday. But Deebo and George Kittle also showed great toughness to catch the football and take hits and hold on to the ball for first down. So we saw a lot of that. And then we saw his running ability. We know his after the catch ability. His speed is different. This guy is unbelievable. He's unbelievable, Grant.
Yeah, and the combination of him and Kittle is so deadly. It's a lot like Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. And a lot of people, Patrick Mahomes is great, but he's also benefited from those two, having them constantly. And it seems like as long as the Niners have Deebo and Kittle on the field, Garoppolo will succeed. Probably, Lance will succeed. Nate Sudfeld that's a really good combination. The problem is Kittle. He's in and out at this point in his career. And the thing is, what do you do with Deebo? Right? Like, I guess you don't have to make that decision now. And last week I was starting to talk about trading him, but honestly, the way he plays, he's certainly worth $16 million a year. He's definitely worth going rate for a top wide receiver. Only question is, do you think, once he's clearly playing for the check right now. Once he's not playing for the check, will he continue to push his body the way he is? I don't know.
So, Grant, the one thing I'll say to you, and this I think is important to consider, because you I think you love the Moneyball aspect of football. You love trading players before they pay them and all of that. You're all over it. The one thing I always have to ask the question is, I think I'm in the same boat that I think there's a logical explanation where you could trade any player outside of, the truly elite quarterbacks. And even them, you can make an argument that maybe they're getting paid too much and all of that. The question to me is, how do you replace the player that you're trading? And because the picks is not enough to replace him. What's your plan if you don't have Deebo Samuel on this team?
Because Deebo's like two players, right? He's
been the most important player on this offense.
Yeah, replacing him would require a running back, a number one running back, and a number one wide receiver. Like, the thing about Deebo that kills me is he's the best running back on the team. I love Elijah Mitchell. He's really good. Deebo Samuel is legitimately the best running back on the team. So when they're in a must-win game like last night, you got to give Deebo 5 carries because you're really not giving yourself the best chance to win unless you do. And of course, you don't want to do it every week because running back's a high tag position. You could get hurt. But that's what he is. It's a very intriguing player. Yeah, I'd pay him, but I'd just like to
It's
see
just
him stay
smart
healthy a little
coaching,
bit
right?
longer. What?
It's just smart coaching. You know you're only going to throw the ball 15 to 20 times, but
Yeah,
you have to win this game. You have to find a way to get Deebo Samuel the ball 10 times. Well, you
yeah,
can't throw it to him, 10 times in when you're throwing it 15 to 20. Okay, let's put him in the backfield and have him run outside zone. Boom, we got him the ball 5 times. He scored a touchdown out of it. Then you get him another 5 receptions. Bang, you got him those 10 touches. And you didn't have to do it the most conventional way because you were able to stick to the game plan that would have worked because you can't drop Garoppolo back against that pass rush with that pass defense.